Liss. The name of the program is The Way to Go, and I invite you to join me each week at this time as we explore places to go and things to do. I had a very interesting experience the other night. Marianne Lopinto said, I've got to go to Sardi's to see a performer named Mark Nadler, who does well, I don't know how to describe it. He starts at 9:30 and runs till 1 o'clock in the morning, and he's been doing it every Thursday now, and in January and February will be on Friday nights. He's incredible, and you're going to find out all about him because my guest today is Mark Nadler. Mark, I'm so glad that you came up here to the wilds of Westchester from New York.
What a thrill. What a wild community.
Riding on the train and have a chance to talk about how wonderful you are and how wonderful the things that you do. So you come out there and you sit down at the piano and you start playing and talking and having guests who come up from the audience. How do you sustain this for 3.5, 4 hours?
Well, I drink heavily. No, it's very easy to do. It's just so much fun. I mean, it's literally so much fun that I lose track of the time. And the way that I started doing it for 4 hours without a break was I would get hired, to do piano bars and these 4-hour gigs. And you'd have to take your break, and I found out on my breaks, I had to go talk to people, which wore my voice out. It's much better for my voice to just sing for 4 hours.
Now, I don't know. All I knew from what Marianne told me was that you were terrific and I had to come see you.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect. People talk about the theater and the fourth wall and penetrating the fourth. There is no fourth wall with you.
Well, but that's the difference between cabaret and theater.
But I've seen a lot of cabaret.
I've done a lot of theater as well, and in theater, you often, not always, have the fourth wall. In cabaret, you drop the fourth wall and you relate directly to the person. That's the thrill of it.
But I've seen a lot of cabaret, and the performer's on the stage, and the performer talks warmly about whatever, but nobody does it like you do. I mean, you're out in the audience, you're talking to people, the night that we were there were some people who were just looking into the room. Turned out they were from Hartsdale. And,
right.
And you just brought them in, had them sit down, and
brought them up for a picture on the stage.
And brought them up for a picture on the stage
with me and Freddie Roman.
Right. And Freddie Roman was in the audience, and you pulled him up, and he did 10 or 15 minutes.
Wasn't that great? He had seen me at another show that I had done recently, another little TV show, and he was in the guest audience, and he came up to me and he said, "You're the greatest thing I've ever seen. Where can I see you?" And of course I said, "Sardi's, Thursdays, 9:30 till 1, be there." So he came the very next night, and he got up and did 10 minutes. He's a very generous man. I really have taken it, and my God, is he funny.
He is funny.
Oh.
He's been doing it.
He tore it up that night, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was great. Why do people keep coming back and coming back? I remember years ago, we used to go to a club in Greenwich Village called Fiend John, and we would go there regularly, and there were people there almost every night, and it was the same group. Now, I noticed that you were calling people by name.
Oh, sure. It's like a private club that people start to get to know me. It's not a private club at all. Anybody's welcome. But people start to get to know me, and because it's different every time I do it, I never know what I'm going to do, and I never know what anybody in the audience is going to do. And often, because it's Sardi's and it's in the theater district, people will come by who are in shows. Marsha Lewis came by last week, who's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because we're right there. They come in, they hang out after the shows, and sometimes they get up and do a number or two,
K.T. Sullivan.
K.T. Sullivan, Heather McRae, Sheila McRae got up and did a number one night. Freddie Roman.
Why?
Why do they?
Yeah.
Because it's a party. It's fun. And they're relaxed. And
Broadway hootenanny, someone described it.
Yes, that's what my flyer says. It's a Broadway hootenanny. And it is. It's just a party. And you know what? My friend Lola Del Riveros, do you know who she is?
No, I don't.
She's Chita Rivera's sister. And she has come every week. And the reason she comes is because she used to work at Ted Hooks. Remember Ted Hook's
Sure,
backstage?
Sure.
And she was the hostess there. And she said, this is the only thing that's happened since Ted Hook. That's what we were doing at Ted Hook's. And that's what it is. It's like this club where you come and you relax and you never know what's going to happen, and you always know something spectacular is going to happen. Thursday night we had a girl that you saw from the pit orchestra of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to
She
Form.
was amazing.
She brought a clarinet.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen there, and it's always something wonderful will happen every time.
Now, what happened with her? As long as you're on that subject, Barbara Hyde, is that her name?
Martha Hyde.
Martha Hyde.
Great musician.
And you two just played together like you'd been playing together all.
Were you there when Kathy Breyer sang?
No, I wasn't.
Kathy Breyer brought up, of all songs, "God Save Me" by Mir Bistashane. Now, you don't know this about me, but I'm from Iowa. I'm one of the few Jews you'll ever meet from it's the pork state. Iowa's the pork state. So, anyway, I saw by Mir Bistashane, and I thought, oh my God, not since my non-bar mitzvah have I heard this one. And Kathy Breyer can sing. She's incredible. She's about this tall, and out comes this merman-like voice. So I said, that's it. We've got to bring it. And if we're going to do by Mir Bistashane and we have a clarinet and we don't do a klezmer sound, we're lost. So we had Kathy Breyer and I was singing, and Martha played the clarinet. It turned into this klezmer symphony. It was unbelievable.
Where does it all come from?
And it was just ad-lib.
Now, where does it all come from? You got a tremendous background, and you're not only a cabaret performer. You've certainly been out in California for
Yeah, I've
several
lived there
years.
for the past 4 years. I'm moving back now.
But you're an accompanist. You're a voice coach. You play the piano. You keep looking away from the piano, I noticed, and almost like your fingers are glued to the keys. You don't even have to look at what you're
Well,
doing.
my fingers are usually up here. I gesture a lot when I play. I don't need to look at the keys. They have stayed in the exact same place ever since I started playing the piano. They don't change.
Let's go back to the beginning. When did you start? How did you get into this business?
Well,
And how was
as
your
I said,
career
I'm from
developed?
Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm from Waterloo, Iowa, and my sister is well, I'm not going to say how much older than me she is, but she's older than me by quite a bit. And she when I was growing up, was a classical pianist.
Huh.
And I would watch her and was fascinated by the sound she was able to produce from this box. And when I was 4.5, I started playing. I picked it up by ear, and my mother, dutifully got me lessons in both. My mother did something very smart. She took me not only to get piano lessons, where, actually, to tell you the truth, I didn't ever practice. Because when I was supposed to practice the whatever, Beethoven this or that, I would learn it by ear and not learn to read, So I would just play it so that my parents who were upstairs would hear me playing something. They thought I was practicing. I was just fooling around. And but my mother took me for music theory lessons at the university. And that has served me in very good stead. And then I got cast in The King and I when I was 6.
Huh.
And
In Iowa?
in Iowa, Waterloo, Cedar Falls Community Theater.
Uh-huh.
And I did a musical or an opera every summer after that until I was about 11. And so by the time I was 10, I had a huge repertoire of show tunes because anytime I heard one, I knew it. I'm one of these people that I hear a song and I know it. All I have to do is learn the lyrics and I know it. And so with this repertoire, I went to a place called the Baraka Inn and in the mall in Waterloo. And I said, asked
I
them
wish
if
I could
work
say I
there.
know it well.
Yeah, well, it's closed now. I asked if I could work there, and they said, you're only 10 years old, and this is a bar. And I said, well, I promise not to drink. And so he had me audition, I'll never forget this, with Stony End, Barbra Streisand's Stony End. You haven't lived till you've heard a 10-year-old sing Going Down the Stony End. I mean, I didn't know what the hell I was singing about, but I did it. He wanted to hear it. I knew it. I did it. So I got that job that summer. Then the next summer, I went to play, and I was 11 at this point, at the Long Straw Saloon in Cedar Falls, which was a step up because that's a university town. And the Long Straw Saloon had a player piano. And anytime I didn't know one of the tunes, I'd put in the piano roll, and I'd try to put my fingers in the keys as they were going down to make it look like I was playing. So eventually, after 4 years of working there, I was actually able to play the piano rolls without the piano rolls being in there. That's how I learned how to do stride. So I learned everything in steps. Then I went to the Interlochen Arts Academy, and I actually got kicked out of the piano department. And they thought I'd be happier in the drama department.
But there's also a surprise, and that is your voice, the quality of your voice. Not only when you're fooling around, but some of the pretty.
Thank you. Well, I've been singing literally all my life. I've been performing professionally since I was 10 years old. So I mean, singing, you know.
Show business follows a path, but you don't know where that path is, right? It takes you in different directions. You mentioned acting. You mentioned.
It's a journey. It's a journey. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. It's a wonderful adventure. It's also a very frightening adventure, as all adventures are. You know, you just don't know where it's going.
Yeah, Rue McClanahan, who was on this show this little while ago, said that can you think of any other profession where you're looking for a job 9 times a year?
It's true. Well, actually, it's not true of me.
You're always working.
Yeah,
you're always
working.
So what happened now, accompanist? You've accompanied some pretty great people.
Well, when I started working the piano bars in New York City, I had to learn how to accompany real fast because people get up and they put this music in front of you. And I didn't really know how to read at that time. I read a little bit, but not too great. And that's where the music theory helped me a lot because I could read the chord symbols above the music. And so I knew what those were. And then I had a good enough ear to be able to know the feel of the piece. And that's what jazz musicians do. They generally read the chords and then create the music out of that, combining it with the feel. And then I learned how to read just from doing it 6 times a week, you know, for 4 or 6 hours a night. I learned how to read, and eventually I got a reputation for being a pretty good accompanist.
Who have you accompanied?
Well, currently I am musical director, and very proud of it, for K.T. Sullivan, often, Heather McRae, Nancy McCall, and Donna Theodore in L.A. I worked with Glenn Close on the movie Maxie.
Well, you were a voice coach.
I did the arrangement for Bye Bye Blackbird, and I coached her on that song.
What does a voice coach do?
A voice coach is basically a director. It's a voice coach will say to you, let's experiment, let's find the best way to do this song. Let's find the best way to make the lyric heard, because people get lulled into melodies and they don't hear the lyrics. So you have to find, a coach will help you work out the phrasing, will help you decide, if you're a woman especially, whether you want to belt this or put it in your head voice.
Does everyone need a voice coach? Do you have a voice coach?
I am my voice coach. I don't know that everybody needs a voice coach. Friends, I don't know that everybody needs a voice coach. I don't coach any of the women that I just mentioned. But I think that it's always helpful, especially if you're working on a piece and you don't really know what way to go with it. You know it's a great tune. You know that it could eventually... See, a song has to get into your body. You can't just sing it. You have to possess it. And you need help sometimes finding the right way to get it into your body, to get the song into your body.
What do you mean by that? They possess it, get it into your body.
Well,
I keep thinking of Judy Garland and Maria Callas, who emotionally conveyed. You didn't even have to listen to the sound,
text, right.
And you didn't have to listen to them. Just the facial expression. They were performing emotionally.
Well, that's just part of being a good performer, but that's not exactly what I'm talking about.
That is performance rather than emotion. When you see a pianist, for example,
I think that
I was watching something on TV the other night where a classical pianist was going through an emotional slaughter, it seemed to me, and you think that's performance or actually feeling?
Well,
I always question that when I see
when you say performance, you're saying, is it faked or is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
I think that the best performances are not faked. I think that you sing a song because it touches you in some way. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you feel excited.
Even when you're doing it over and over and over again. I mean, you do a great job, and we'll talk about your CD in a minute. I Love a Piano, which Freddie Roman came and...
Just to hear that.
And he said, you got to do it. And of course, you knock the audiences out of their seats because you keep falling off the piano bench and jumping up. And some of this is in this brochure, as a matter of fact. There's some pictures here. I don't know if we can see this. A very animated Mark Nadler.
Yeah, that sort of captures my spirit. Zoom in on this, because this is my caricature that was in the New Yorker. It's my prized moment to date in my career, was having a caricature in the New Yorker.
But very colorful brochure, by the way.
Thanks.
And
Bruce Stevens designed it. He's brilliant.
here's something else that's
brilliance.
kind of the outside on it. I don't know whether we can see that.
We're talking about this, Mark Nadler's
Yeah.
Parties at Sardi's.
Yeah,
This is
it's
over.
incredible. It's incredible what's going on there, but you don't know what you're going to do until you do it, do you?
No. I
How does that
generally
happen?
know who's going to be in the audience. I know what I do is I do put in some fail safes. I have certain singers that I will call up and say, "Will you be there this Thursday?" Just so that I know, because my fear is that I'll come and have nobody there who will get up and sing, because then it's not a party. Then it's a 4-hour show, and that's a different kettle of fish, you know? But I do make sure that there are some singers there who I know are top-notch.
I just want to remind our viewers that we're talking today with Mark Nadler, who has these wonderful parties at Sardi's through the end of the year, Thursday nights at 9:30, in January and February going to Friday nights at 9:30. It's a hootenanny. It's a riot. He's unbelievable, and he's so calm now, but when he's up there on the stage, he's an unbelievable person.
Well, I wouldn't be calm, except I have this wire here, and if I jump around too much, I'll pull your whole studio out of its socket.
The sustaining this, you say, is not hard at all for you to
no.
do. You jump out into the audience.
You know what else? The music gives me a lot of energy, and the audience gives me so much energy, because they're loving it, you know, when nothing gives you energy like applause and laughter.
Now, you did something very funny. There was someone there who was celebrating a birthday, and you said how terrible it is to sing happy birthday to you. And then you go off into, well, you tell what you do.
I don't know what I did that night.
Oh, so it's not a set piece. That was the point that I was making. You sang it in Russian.
Oh, yeah, I would do that a lot, yeah. I sing it in Russian.
How do you do that?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm not giving away the punchline. You have to come to Sardi's.
Again, that's the point, that you don't even know what you did that night. You've done that. You've got these pieces.
Yeah. I have a repertoire of about 3,000 songs, a little more than 3,000 songs at this point.
A repertoire grows just from...
Weekly. I make a point of learning a new song a week, at least. And when I'm doing a show, I learn more than that.
What do you mean by learning a song?
Learning a song to get it up to performance quality.
Does that mean learning the lyrics, or
Learning the lyrics,
rehearsing and rehearsing?
Well, it means learning the lyrics, learning to sing it, getting it into my body so that I own the song. So that when you're listening to me sing it, you don't say, "Oh, yeah, Streisand did that one great." You know?
You own it.
Yeah, it's my song. I have... That's my job, is to not make you, the audience, wish you were somewhere else. You know what I mean?
I noted that you were calling a lot of people by name in the audience. Is that because they've been there before? And
Yeah.
do you have this ability to remember names as people?
Well, after I've seen people week after week, you know, then I'm pretty lousy with names, actually. I can't remember the names of the waiters at Sardi's to save my life, because it's Adim and Salim and Sabu and Badi Baba. You know, these names of these people. They're wonderful waiters. They're great guys, but I can't remember their names to save my life.
I do want to make the point very clearly that this is not a clique. This is not an in-group.
No.
Because we came into the room, we didn't know anybody there. But
you felt welcome, right?
We felt welcome. Actually, we had only intended to stay an hour. And we stayed more than 2 hours, and it was very hard pulling ourselves away. You really don't want to leave.
And I do want to say one thing very important about these evenings. Some people think, you mean we have to arrive at 9:30 and stay till 1? No. Arrive anytime you feel like it and leave anytime you feel like it, just like any other party. That's, very important, because I don't want people to think, well, I'd love to go, but my God, I don't have 4 hours to kill, you know?
I do want to, of course, talk about the fact that you've got a new CD out.
This is not only a new CD, this is my first recording, yeah.
Your first, it's called Out There, and
Yes.
it's Mark Nadler. And what does it include on it?
It includes I Love a Piano, which you talked about. It includes my favorite piece to perform, which is I do Gershwin's Swonderful. It's wonderful, it's marvelous. Then I play a section of the Rhapsody in Blue. And I've put an arrangement together where I play Rhapsody in Blue while I sing Swonderful, because the two actually harmonically go together.
How do you keep your mind separate from that?
I don't have to. I've been doing that number for about 10 years. So, but I mean, Swonderful works as an accompaniment to, Rhapsody in Blue works as an accompaniment to Swonderful. You learn the arrangement. I learned the arrangement. I wrote the arrangement, and I learned
as the old saying goes, easy for you, difficult for me.
Like I couldn't have a talk show. Easy for you.
Certainly, this appearance at Sardi's is great. It's wonderful. And but you've played virtually every club in New York.
Almost. I haven't played the Algonquin. I haven't played Rainbow and Stars, but I've played everywhere else.
But
Not the call-out.
At the recent cabaret convention at Town Hall,
That was such a kick.
I was there 2 nights. I have been told that one of the nights that I wasn't there, it ran for a week. One of the nights that I wasn't there was someone who stepped in at last-minute replacement and stopped the show. And his name, of course, is Mark Nadler.
Well, I'm glad you said it, because I hate to tell that story.
but I always look for show-stopping performers, and
It was pretty exciting. There were 14 people on that bill that night. 14. And I was the only one who got a curtain call. And I got, in fact, 2 curtain calls.
And you did what number?
I did I Love a Piano.
No, you just didn't go in there cold and say, I'm going to play I Love a Piano.
No, I went out
heard
and I
that you did
talked to the audience a little bit.
You did a little preparation for it, too.
Yeah, sure. That's the fun of it. It happened to be my birthday.
Uh-huh.
And that afternoon I was sitting at home feeling a little depressed because I hadn't been asked to do the cabaret convention this year. And not, because they didn't know I was going to be in town.
Right.
I lived in L.A.
Right.
And I had never done it before. And Donald Smith calls me and he says, Tom Anderson is sick. Do you want to go on? I said, do I want to go on? Are you nuts? I'll be there when you need me there. I get my makeup now. We'll do it now. And Donald was so funny. He said, I want you to understand we don't need you. We have enough people on the bill, but if you want to do it, you're welcome to do it. So I went on and I thanked Tom Anderson for this incredible birthday present.
I remember when he stopped the show a few years ago.
He's great. Yeah. He's great. So I think the first thing I did was, because Town Hall is 2,000 seats, so without the mic, I looked around and I said, the thing I love about cabaret is these intimate spaces!
Town Hall, right?
Yeah, and then I did it.
Well, you've told me a bit of good news. Most viewers for this know this about it, but the Emlyn Theater has a wonderful cabaret program.
Oh, yeah.
And you told me before...
Katie Sullivan is doing
January,
her show, and I'm her accompanist, and I also do a couple duets with her in that show.
So the people who do not go to Sardi's will have an opportunity.
The people who do not go to Sardi's are losers. Let me make that very clear. Big losers.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
And you know what the thing about it is we set this up to be an after theater thing to do.
Yes.
You know, it's right in the heart of the theater district. It's on 44th Street between Broadway and 8th, right next to the St. James Theater, right across the street from the Schubert Theater. Something to do after the theater. Come up, you can have dinner, or you don't have to. You can have drinks, and it's just fun. It's just fun. It's not serious. It's just fun. Although people do sing serious songs. God knows, K.T. Sullivan got up last Thursday night, and she did Mad About the Boy. Noel Coward's Mad About the Boy. Well, the place just, Kleenex sold a lot of tissues.
Do you know what they're going to do before they start performing? I noticed that people handed you some music.
Sometimes I do, because a lot of these people I've worked with so much.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes I haven't got a clue what they're going to do, but sometimes. And I also do want to say that it is not an open mic. You know, when you come to hear this thing at Sardi's, I am very picky about the quality of the people that perform. Now, that night, in fact, that you were there, somebody did get up who I had never heard before, and quite frankly, he was lousy. And that made me even tougher. That'll never happen again. It is not an open mic. If you come there and you happen to be a singer and you want to sing with me, that's wonderful, but unless I know your work, the criterion that Sardi's has set down is if you've been on Broadway or off Broadway, or if you've won a MAC award, you're welcome to get up. Otherwise, I have to know your work. So I don't want people to start thinking of me as human karaoke. You know?
Not major bows in the amateur.
No, it's definitely not an amateur hour. It's for professionals only.
So,
Do not try this at home.
so this kind of explains something which I was curious about. It seems so impromptu, but it's not. There's a lot of planning that goes on.
Well, actually, there's no planning, but the only planning that I do is I make sure that I have 2 or 3 good singers there that night. I don't know what they're going to want to sing that night, but most of them I've worked with and I know their material. And I sight read very well now. So...
Of course, a line that I read, which I thought was terrific, and so you go on there. You know, before you went on, I was introduced to you and said, could we talk during the intermission? You said, I don't take a break. And of course, the line, which I must repeat, not my original line, is someone in a review said that you must have the greatest bladder in the world.
Yeah, Roy Sander. Roy Sander in backstage reviewed my bladder. Favorably, I might add. I was very pleased.
And you're just up there all the time, and the time just
But who wants to
flies
pee
by.
when you're having such a good time?
But the time just flies by because
does
you're
fly
so
by. It
good
just
for
flies
what you're
by.
doing, and you enjoy it. So it's obvious that you're having pleasure out of it. Who's enjoying it more, you or the audience, is really what the question is.
Well, it's not for me to say, is it?
Well, you do give a lot of pleasure to people, and I think that's what's so wonderful about it. How about the future? How far ahead do you book? You're now back in New York and living here?
I just moved back. In fact, we're planning to buy a house up here in Westchester.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, I want a little of that good country living.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can introduce you to the Four Corners, you know.
Oh, goody. I'll probably end up living on one of them.
Well, thanks so much, Mark, for being here and talking to us. I'm so delighted
My
that
pleasure,
you could come
Norman.
to
This was fun as
Westchester. I
hell.
enjoyed it a great deal. And my guest today is Mark Nadler, who's doing a wonderful Broadway hootenanny, a party. Go see it, 9:30 to 1 o'clock in the morning, Thursday nights through the end of the year, and then on Friday nights in January and February. Great performer. Go see him. I'm Norman Liss. The name of this program is The Way to Go. And until next time, enjoy yourself.